Hello everybody, welcome back to the Spellcorp Industrial Complex. It has been a minute, but we're back here finally after a long Christmas break, winter break, whatever you're celebrating, whatever you're doing, whatever holidays you've had going on. I've had a lot going on between Christmas and, I celebrate Christmas and New Year's and all the other things and birthdays and stuff, so I've been busy, but we're back here at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, and I have been busy. I've been hard at work, rest assured. Look at this, okay? A little bit of some foundation here laid out, a little parking lot for some employees to start coming in. Look at that. We have our little toll gate entrance thing for employees to scan in. We're gonna get some functionality for that going eventually, where you'll have to use your key cards to get in, but it's looking good so far. I made this with the help of the schematic cannon again. 3D printed my design here, and there's only a couple errors I had to run around and fix. There's some dirt and stuff here, I guess. It's a little broken, but most of it's looking good, so that's fine. I am super excited to be back here at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex once again. Look at this place. It's as beautiful as I remember. There's more chests than I remember. It's messier than ever. And we got some exciting stuff to look at today. As you may have already seen from the thumbnail, we're going to be making something really cool, something near and dear to my heart, something I've spent a lot of time on looking at. And that's right, today we're going to be building a working Rubik's Cube here at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex. And okay, yeah, it does seem a little odd. It seems a little strange to make something like a Rubik's Cube here at an industrial complex, but I assure you it's going to be great, and I have a great plan for it, and it's going to be functional and useful and purposeful, but obviously it's pretty big, and I'm going to need a lot of space for it. So what I do need is I need a dedicated room to it, and I'm thinking this here is going to be the perfect area. You know what I want is I want a big warehouse here, our big main storage facility for the industrial complex, somewhat be kind of central, right? Everything's here. All of our vehicles and everything's going to be able to access the storage from here. It'll be perfect. So this is a good spot, but we do need to make a big area for the Rubik's Cube, and I'm thinking underground is going to be the perfect place to put it. We'll have the warehouse above ground, this little Rubik's Cube room below ground. So, hello, friend. Let's just see. Oh, I already made the room. Yeah, that's right. I prepared. Look at this. We got this weird futuristic tunnel thing. What's this? An elevator? Upper? Balcony? Shall we go down? Let's go down. Oh, baby. Look at this. Oh, wow. Our big geometry-inspired room with colors and bricks and walls, and it's neat. It's weird. It's kind of weird, kind of funky. I don't usually build things like this, so it's let me know what you think of this room. I kind of like it. I maybe want to add some extra colors to the walls. I don't know. Very, very cool so far. I'm really liking it. We'll go to the bottom as well because there's a lower level. But this room here is going to be where we're going to build the Rubik's Cube, right in the center. And it's important that we have that upper deck because we'll have to be able to see it and push buttons and things to rotate it. But look down here. This is gorgeous. Let me turn on F1 for a second here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. The reflections on the tinted glass on the floor. It looks so cool. Kind of gives that infinity room vibe to it, right? Look at that. Oh, super cool. Okay, well, what are we doing today? We're building the Rubik's Cube, and there's a lot of working parts that's going to require from us today, and I'm going to need a bunch of create blocks and things, so I guess I'm going to have to get to work and grab some of it. And don't worry. We're going to go through it all today. I'll take it piece by piece, and I'll show you how it functions. That way you'll be able to build your own, because I know lots of you are going to want to do it. And maybe at the end of today, we'll try to solve it, because, oh man, it's going to be slow. It's going to be clunky. I imagine it's not going to be very fast to solve, but yeah, it'll be neat. Okay, let me gather some stuff, and we'll get started today. You thought it would be that easy? You thought I'd let you get away without learning a little bit here if you didn't already know? No, that's not how I work. I have to teach you a bit of something about what we're doing here. Okay, for those of you who don't know, let's look at a Rubik's Cube here. Generally, what a Rubik's Cube is going to be is it's going to be a 3x3 cube with 6 different sides, unique colors on each side, and it's complete when all the colors on each face match, when all 6 faces are grouped of the correct colors. So right here would be like a solved Rubik's Cube, right? And you can scramble up the Rubik's Cube by rotating any of the 6 sides, and then it creates a new little pattern here. So this would be rotating the left side. We would get this kind of little change up here, okay? So it looks a bit different, right? And then you can keep doing that, and you get more and more scrambled, and it gets more and more confusing, and you get lost deeper in the sauce until you're further away from this. And the whole goal is to get back to the solved state. Now, the problem with that is there's 43 quintillion possibilities, different combinations that this cube can be. This right here, this is just one of them. There are so many more combinations, so people had to come up with a reliable way of solving them based on the situation. So there's a series of algorithms you can use. There's many different methods of looking at the current state the cube is in and figuring out how to get it back to the original solved state. So lots of fun, but there's lots to remember. There's lots to learn. It took me quite a bit of time to first learn a Rubik's Cube. I watched a few YouTube videos of some basic algorithms, and then I just practiced. I did it a lot of time, spent a lot of time on it. And even now, the fastest I can solve one is maybe like 26 seconds on a good day. There's lots of room to improve, and I think some of the fastest solves are like under, like 5 seconds, 4 seconds. It's crazy. It is insane. So these are super cool, super fun puzzles, but I want to build one because I want one in this big room here, okay? I want a big setup. I want it to have to be solved, and it's gonna maybe be the key to getting somewhere in the industrial complex, you know, kind of a password that isn't super secure because a lot of people can solve it and people can Google how to solve it, but it's fun. It's fun to play with, right? So how are we going to build one in Minecraft here? Well, an important thing to consider is how the Rubik's Cube functions, right? As we can see, you rotate the 6 different sides. So we have to have 6 sides that are going to be able to rotate. But one thing that's important to note is that the center tile is never going to move on any of the 6 sides. So we can go actually here, we can look, right? We rotated this blue one, center tile stays in the same place. It's pretty easy to tell from there, but these side ones are all in the same. Orange is there, green's there. Then when we rotate the top one, you see this white tile, the top tile is still, the center tile is still the same. On the left here, the blue is still the same. The orange is still the same. Those center tiles are never gonna move. They're always gonna stay. So we can kind of work with that a little, and we're gonna start to be able to figure out how to piece our cube together. We just need those 6 sides that rotate, and they're all gonna rotate straight from the center because we know those centers themselves are always gonna stay there. So what does that get us? Well, to start, we're gonna start off with something simple like this, okay? Right here, very, very simple. It's gonna represent 2 kind of sides here of a cube, okay? We got this red side, this green side, and when I push this sequence gear shift, it's set up to turn 90 degrees, so it's just gonna rotate 90 degrees. And if I take my glue, you can see this whole square is glued together, and it's just gonna rotate. And that whole center stays the same. So imagine this is our center tile on a 3x3 cube, right? That's gonna stay the same. We can rotate this one about. Now we just have to figure out how to connect our edges and corners to this so that we can assemble a big 3x3 cube. And also, this only rotates one way, so we're gonna have to figure out how we can get it to go the other way if we want to turn it to the left. We'll look at the edges and corners after and figure out how we're going to connect those, but the first thing is actually pretty easy to solve, okay? We want a way to rotate this the opposite direction, and there may be a way to do this within the sequence gear shift, but I don't really know how. All we're going to change is we're going to make this one longer by adding a single gear shift in here, which will let us flip the direction with a lever, right? It's going to the right now. Now it's going to the left. Get all that back together, and now we can send a different signal. Okay, we want it to turn to the right, we press the button. But if we want it to turn to the left, we're gonna invert the signal. Now whenever we trigger the sequenced one, it'll go to the left. Perfect. It's gonna make it a little complicated with how we have to control the cube when we wanna rotate the sides. There will have to be a toggle for if we're sending an inverted signal or not, but that's okay. We're working within the constraints of Minecraft here, so it'll be fine. Now that we've figured out left and right turns, we have to figure out how we're going to introduce turning the edges and corners with this, right? So unfortunately, it's not as easy as just gluing this edge together and then gluing the edge to these, right? Because if we do this, watch what's going to happen. It's gonna break, okay? It rotates. Oh, it pulls the edge along. That's not right because this red core, this red center tile is never supposed to move, so we shouldn't ever have that. So that is an issue that we have to work around, and we're gonna be able to get around that with stickers. And no, I don't mean the stickers that you put on your binder or laptop or lick and pretend that you didn't lick them when your mom asks. No, we're talking about the sticker create block, which when you give a redstone signal, get out of here, which when you give a redstone signal, activates kind of as a toggle here with this little sticky thing that sticks out. So it's kind of like a sticky piston. It's going to help us attach things. The basic principle we're going to use is on each of the corners and edges, we're going to have stickers like this that are going to basically, when we want to rotate this green side, we want to pull this white edge and this blue edge with it, right? So what we would do is we would toggle the sticker on this side so that it would pull it with it. Now, obviously that doesn't do anything yet as we don't have it set up, but we have our glue set up here. So let's just maybe give it a try. We'll disconnect that one. We'll try that there. Let's see what happens if we toggle this sticker. It sticks to that white edge. If we move it now, still not doing anything. What are we missing? Well, we have to connect this sticker to the green edge. I'll grab some extra green concrete here. We'll attach that there, and we're going to stick it like this. Okay? So now our sticker is still connected, I think. If we press this, it should pull the white edge. Oh, I did it wrong? No. What about now? No. What's going on? Oh, I haven't connected this green actually up to the edge, so it has to be connected there. Okay, so now if we try it. Oh, it pulls the sticker, but not the white. Okay. We stick this, and it pulls the whole edge along. But it's still taking this red one because we forgot to disconnect it. Whoops. Uninvert the signal. Disconnect this. Now that our red edge isn't connected currently, if we move this, it's going to pull that edge around. And we should just be able to keep rotating it around. No consequences now. Fantastic. All right, here with just a few small upgrades, we've attached the red edge as well, and I've put a bunch of these redstone links here to do a bunch of different confusing things, but it's pretty simple what it's going to do, okay? We got this orange signal here. This will invert all of the sides on the cube because we'll only be rotating one side at a time anyways, so we can just have one invert signal. And then these are going to be the controls for each of the faces, and they look kind of complicated, but they work very, very simple. Here's how it's going to go, okay? We got a couple delays. We have a 10 tick, a 20 tick, and a 20 tick, and you're going to push the button, and what's going to happen first is it's going to fire off the sticker on the stick side, the very top, where is it? There, that sticker. It'll fire all the stickers for it, and then it'll wait 20 ticks, and it will use the rotation of the mechanical bearing to then rotate it, and then it will unstick the sticker at the end. And the reason I have 20 ticks is because this whole setup with 10 tick, 20 tick, 20 tick is the safest timings I've figured out that doesn't seem to break it. I played around a lot with timings on this machine, and if it's any shorter, it seems to mess up, and sometimes you end up having stickers that don't fire off correctly and sides break and things get messy. But anyways, let's just give this a quick test here. We're going to rotate the orange side, so that'll be the top one. So what it's going to do is it's going to fire the sticker, it'll grab the white edge, and it should just rotate it. I don't have that corner set up, but that's okay. We'll try it like this. It sticks, and it rotates. We can do it again. It'll stick, it'll rotate. Amazing. Keep doing that until we can bring it all the way back around. Okay, that's fantastic. As easy as that. That all works. Now how about the red one here? And I do have to be careful because I don't want it to rotate too far, but we'll rotate it once at least. You'll see, oh, it grabs the white edge and it pulls it along. Amazing. Okay, so we do have to invert this so it'll go back. I don't want to go all the way through the wall, but we'll go push that. It'll bring that up. We can push the red again to bring it down to this side. And that works as well. Fantastic. So it looks like we kind of have everything in place then that we're going to need to start assembling our cube. We have these edges, and the corners basically follow the exact same rules. We would just have a sticker extended out to here. Now, as it currently sits, this is actually going to be too small for our cube though, and we're going to have to expand it a little bit larger to make everything fit. And then we'll also have to keep in mind we have to find a way to power everything within it. So we're going to have to get a little creative, and what I am going to do is I think we're going to have a black border and borders between the tiles just to increase the size, give us some extra room to work with. Then that way everything should fit nicely inside. So I guess with that figured out, we're basically ready to start building the cube. I think what I'll do is I'll start to assemble some of the cores and the sticker sides, and I'll show you kind of what that's going to look like for the rest of this design. So I'm going to get started. I'll clean this up and then start building. Oh wow, this is a little trippy in here now. I am inside the frame of the cube at least. We got all our black borders filled in. I filled in the bottom for now too, so we can kind of see what that's going to start to look like. And this thing is big. It takes up most of the room for sure. So next up, I'm going to start assembling kind of the core rotational parts, and I'll show you how those are going to work with Now Next, I'm going to start assembling kind of that core rotational part that's going to attach to each of the 6 sides. And we can look at how that's going to work within here and how it's going to connect all the edges and corners together. And then how we'll repeat it 6 times around. The control layout. It's going to get complicated fast. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not really complicated. It's just repetitive and a little confusing looking because of how cluttered it's going to have to be in here. But I assure you, it's quite simple. This right here is going to be our core mechanism to the cube. So basically, it's this little H-pattern shifter looking thing that's going to have 8 different stickers connecting to each of the sides, and then our mechanical bearing is hidden between these blocks here, sticking to the bottom one. And then I'll pull up the glue, and you can see kind of how everything's glued. So basically, these ones are all glued together in a line, these ones are glued together, and these ones are glued to the edge stickers. And then right at the end of these stone ones, they're not glued to the mechanical bearing because that would mean it wouldn't move properly, but they're glued straight down into this face here at the bottom. So they each go straight down into this yellow face, and then that kind of ties them to the rotation of the face. And then here we have our sequence gear shift and our invert signal. And then right now I'm running it at 32 RPM because I think that's kind of the speed I've worked with for it. So we'll just stick with that. But let's go take a look. I set up a little control panel up here temporarily for now so we can see how this works. We'll turn off our invert signal, so it's going to go the regular way. Say we want to send a down signal to the Rubik's Cube, right? We want to rotate this bottom face. So we're going to push our yellow button, and it's going to rotate down. I can push it again. It'll go again, and if we want to invert it and send it the opposite way, we invert the signal, and we send it the opposite way. So that is great. That's all working correctly. Basically, now all I have to do is I'm going to have to build this up on each of the 6 sides interior here and then connect them up to the one power source. Luckily, we are able to just use one power source, and just this little windmill works because only one of the mechanical bearings is spinning at any point. I think what I'll do for you too is I'm going to set up all the bottom corners and stuff here, the bottom corners and edges, so that we can see when we rotate this bottom one that it's all going to work great as well. So let me get that sorted and we can take a look. Okay, so I've put some of the edges and corners on here just around the bottom, and I've glued them all up. So you can kind of see how they're glued as well. The corners are pretty simple. It's just the 3 faces. We glue them together. It's important just to glue just the faces because if we had this square coming into the interior, it would catch on this sticker and move it when we don't want to. So you got to make sure it's just the 3 faces that are glued together. And then for the edges, it's the same thing. It's just these 2 faces of the square glued together. Let's give it a test here. Let's rotate down the bottom one. Rotates that whole edge. Perfect. We have the blue side facing us. We'll do it again. That works great. Now let's invert it and bring it back. Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's awesome. So that whole bit is working. That whole side is working now. And what that means is I can go ahead. I can start to assemble kind of the other ones here. So I'll get going on those, and we should have a working cube soon. And then I guess I got to figure out the controls. So just to reduce the clutter a bit, I want the controls kind of just on a little panel here with buttons. That would be nice and easy for it. So what we'll probably do is we'll have the color corresponding to the side, a lever for the invert, and then I'll just make another redstone link that connects right where this button input is, and then I'll hide these in the walls or something, just because I don't really like how cluttered these are going to look. So we'll move them somewhere else and then just have an easy control panel here. Well, it finally happened. I got stuck inside a Rubik's Cube. So this sucks. I don't know how I'm going to get out without breaking everything, but we'll figure that out after. Anyways, check this out. Look at this. We got 6 kind of sides set up mostly. This looks super cool. We got this cool like axis thing. I want a screenshot of this because it looks so neat in here. It's very, very cool. We got the top rigged up with the redstone links. The bottom's rigged up with the redstone links. So I just got to set up these redstone links and copy all that. That's boring, so I'll spare that from you. But I did just want to show you the inside because I think it looks really cool in here right now. Inside the core of the cube here, I've got all the stickers set up, and I've started to figure out how we're going to power it all together. So the way this basically works is we have a regular gearbox here. We have a vertical gearbox behind it and another gearbox at this end, so we can transport power straight through this way and straight up and down. And then just to connect the sides here, I just attached 2 chain drives to either side of the gearboxes here, so that just runs along. what this means for us here is now we can connect power in from any of these 4 spots, or even along one of these with a belt. I'll just have to attach that up with a rotation speed controller, and then we're set with power, and we can get started testing this thing. Just like that, and I think I can click on that, and there we go. That'll start generating power. All we need now is a little vertical gearbox, and everything should be hooked up. Amazing. Easy as that. Cool. Now I gotta get out of here somehow. All right, are you guys ready? I've finished the cube, okay? And we're gonna test it here together, okay? But check this out. We come into the room, we descend. Oh, baby. Send that back up there. Perfect. Hides away in the ceiling. Fantastic. Look at this. The beast of my burden is complete. This is crazy. I don't know if I'm using that saying right, but whatever. Look at this. Oh, it looks awesome. It's quite monumental in this room. Fills it up very nice. The lights on top and around. This was a choice I made last minute because it was too dark to see the cube, and I think it kind of looks cool and mystical and magical with that. So we can see the whole cube now. And I'll bring you into the control center, okay? So we just have these buttons. These let us rotate it. But back here, hidden behind this, behind the facade, behind the curtain, we have the rest of the controls. So these are just for all of them. And that just does the sticker, the bearing, the sticker sort of thing, all set up on the timings, the same timings as before. And yeah, so lots I've learned during this project, you know. Figured out some of the timing stuff, more create stuff. It's been really exciting, and now we finally get to see if it all works together, okay? I did back up the world just to be safe in case things break, but to start it out, okay, we're gonna rotate the bottom face, the yellow one, just like we started with. You ready? We're pushing it. Oh, and it works? Are all the sides correct? Yes? So far, yes? Oh my goodness, amazing. It's all right so far. This is fantastic. Okay, cool. Now what about the top side, the white side? Oh, it works? Okay, now let's rotate this one, the green side. Oh, oh my goodness. This is unreal. This is fantastic. Wow, it all works. Yes. Okay, this is sweet. Now, I guess I gotta solve it, right? We do have to solve it. This is a pretty easy one to solve, but I think we'll scramble it some more. But what I do kind of want to add some improvements is I do want to make this little control board. I want to make it on all 4 sides here so that I can solve it kind of from any side and reference the algorithms easily, because whatever side is considered front facing will change based on it. So it'll just be easier to have the control panel on all the sides so I can solve it from any of them. But this is amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it works this great. And it looks so good. It looks so cool in here. Like, look at this. Oh yeah, that's thumbnail material. What do you think? You think it's about time we solve this thing? I got it scrambled up nicely here. It's all scrambled for us and ready to go. I set up the control panels on all the sides so that we can do that easily enough. And I got my stopwatch right there at the top of the screen so we can see how long this is gonna take. I think it's gonna take a long time, so I will speed it up if it's too slow, because it's definitely gonna be more than a minute. Without further ado, let's get going on this one here, okay? All right. Okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll start it. Have to tab out. We're starting the timer, and go. First 2 minutes, and we have the top layer complete. Now we're gonna work on these edges here on the second layer. Making good time, making better progress than I would have thought. Five minutes 45 seconds here, and we have the first 2 layers. Now we are on to this bottom one, and we have to figure this out, I guess. So good luck to me. Okay, we just 10 minutes 50 seconds. We just have these 2 corners left. We're coming in close here. Up inverted. Left. Up? Is that it? Oh my god. And then what do we need? We need down. Down? Time? 13 minutes? 13 minutes. Pause it. Pause the timer. We did it. Oh my gosh. You know what? Wow. Okay. New personal best. 13 minutes. 3 seconds. We did it. We solved the cube. Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's going to be long-winded to get into anything by having to do that. So, fantastic. I would say this episode was a total success, and thank you for joining me today. This is a very cool project. I'm very happy we finally got to get it done in the Minecraft world. I've been waiting to do something like this for a long time, something really fun, something where I get to explain a bit of my passion to you guys, and I get to make it in the Minecraft world here. So if you liked today's episode, subscribe if you aren't already, leave a like, leave a comment. All of that helps boost me up in the algorithm if you want to keep seeing cool videos like this. Share this video with your friends and Rubik's Cube lovers all around. I'm sure lots of people will get a kick out of seeing something functional like this in the game. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next time at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex. Take care. Have a good day. Bye. I love you. Bye. 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 Bye.